As global leaders prepare to meet next month for the climate change COP27 summit, activists are going out of their way to raise awareness against increasing carbon emissions and the looming climate crises. Our next report has more. With a violin on his back and maps in his bag, UK's Dan Hoth cycles through the busy streets of Baghdad. He's headed to the COP27 climate talks in Egypt, which he firmly intends to reach without flying. Hoth has cycled, taken trains and buses and shared taxis to reach Iraq. He is en route to Sharm el-Sheikh, where the climate talks will take place from November 6th to 18th. The seasoned traveller says that pollution on the road is one of the many challenges for cyclists.
The pollution is one of the hardest parts of long-term cycling and travelling because you're constantly exposed to exhaust fumes and things on roadsides. You know, we live in a planet that is not built for sustainable travelling. It's not built for cyclists.
According to aviation experts, airlines were responsible for 2.4% of global carbon dioxide emissions in 2019. After a drop during the pandemic, air traffic is expected to bounce back to 2019 levels by the year 2025. Hoth has pledged to avoid taking flights in an attempt to send a strong message to the COP27 delegates.
I'm travelling to the COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh without flying because I'm trying to illustrate the importance with the transport sector to do more about the climate crisis.
While the Briton is cycling to showcase his rebellion, another one is doing so by swimming. Lewis Pugh, a British South African activist, swam across the Red Sea all the way from Saudi Arabia to Egypt. He made the trip accompanied by Egyptian swimmer Mustafa Zaki.
Thank you.
The activists aim to raise awareness about the effect of climate change on coral reefs. Pugh made the 123-kilometer trip in about 16 days before arriving in Egypt. He has urgently called on world leaders to cut emissions.
Science is very, very clear now. If we heat the planet by more than 1.5 degrees centigrade, we will lose 70% of the world's coral.
Experts often compare reefs to rainforests when trying to emphasize their stunning diversity of life. Reef death not only carries dire consequences for wildlife, but also for the homes, health, and livelihoods of hundreds of millions of people, including those who fish, work in tourism, and dwell on islands made of coral. Many also rely on coral reefs for protection from coastal erosion. Ahead of next month's COP27, activists like Hoth and Pugh are going out of their way to call for firm action to combat climate change. Bureau Report, WION World is One. WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.